aliens. Are they real, or are they just some sci-fi creature that everyone wants to be real? That is the age-old question we will be talking about. If aliens are real or not. If they are real, what would aliens look like? And is there any other life that can be on other planets? All of these questions and many more will be asked on this outstanding episode. We've gone extraterrestrial on this episode on Brain Smarts. So aliens are creatures on other planets, but they probably wouldn't look like the little green men you see on movies and TV shows. They could be anything from bacteria to another human, even. Alien is basically just saying, is there any other life at all out there? It could even be a plant, for anyone cares. But before we say any more, I'm going to go up to some people and ask what they think about aliens. So tune in for people to tell you, for random strangers to tell you what they think about aliens right now. All right, so how do you believe that aliens or life on other planets exist?
Yes.
Why?
Because if we exist, there must be other things in this universe that exist.
Okay. What if I told you that there's 100% other planets that could suit life out there?
I believe it.
Well, there is, and there's over at least 1 billion planets that are in the position that our Earth is in, which can suit life. That was it. Thank you. Do you believe in aliens or life on other planets?
I question it. I sort of do. But we have no guarantee, so it's hard to say for sure.
So no complete answer.
No complete answer. Right. Did you ever watch the movie? What was the name of that movie? They said, well, if there's life nowhere else, then it's an awful lot of wasted space or something like that. I can't remember which movie it was. Okay. Yeah.
So what if I told you that there's over 1 billion planets that are suitable for life?
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, then I would be more apt to believe it. Yes, there has to be. Okay, so are we talking about not life as we know it necessarily, but any form of life?
Any form of life. Plants, bacteria.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Then I do. Then I would say I definitely believe that.
Because over 1 billion planets in the solar system, or not solar system, galaxy, or even universe.
Right.
Are in the exact same position, probably not exact same, but in around the exact same position of our Earth, which is the perfect position suitable for life.
Right. Now, I know that there's certain conditions that protect planet Earth. Now, whether those other planets have those same conditions as far as the solar, the sun, the environment, that type of thing. But right, no, if there is that many, so what did you call it? Not necessarily planets that have that are comparable and that could sustain some sort of life, no matter what it may be. Yes, I would have to say that I believe.
All right, thank you. That was it. So, do you believe in aliens or life on other planets?
I do not.
Okay, why?
Just never really seen any credible evidence that we know that. So it doesn't mean they don't exist, just means we don't know.
Yeah, so what if I told you that over 1 billion planets in our universe have the right conditions suitable for life? What would you say?
Interesting. Hope we find it.
Well, scientists have found that there are over 1 billion planets that are suitable for life because of the position they're in.
Yeah.
As in how Earth is in the perfect position and distance from the sun
Third rock from
to
the
not
sun.
be too hot or too cold.
Yeah.
which is suitable for life.
Of course, that would depend on what kind of life. Maybe there's
Bacteria,
lives
plants,
that
literally
like different
anything.
conditions. All from our perspective, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was it. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
So do you believe in alien life or life, just life in general on other planets?
Yes,
Why?
because I just think that the universe is so huge that there has to be some other life form out there.
Okay. So what if I told you that there's over 1 billion planets that are suitable for life?
I knew that actually.
Yeah. So you know about the whole zone thing and all that?
Yes.
Where it has to be in the exact position or around the exact position to be suitable for life because it's not too hot or too cold.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? That there's an even bigger chance that there's life out there.
I'm okay with it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So like no worries of alien invasions.
No, I don't think so.
All right. That was all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, do you believe in aliens or life in other planets?
No, I do not.
Why?
It's not supported in the Bible.
Okay. So you're very biblical, I'm guessing.
Mhm.
What if I told you that there's over 1 billion planets in our universe that are in the right position to be suitable for life, even if it's like bacteria or plants, and not like the little green men.
So maybe could you rephrase that a little bit?
There's over 1 billion planets that are suitable for life.
Okay. Based on what?
Based on the distance from the sun. So it's not too close, which means it's not too hot, and it's not too far, which means it's not too cold. So like Earth here, it can hold water, and life can flourish on it. What would you say about aliens then?
I would say the Earth is uniquely designed to support life. Yeah, I mean, again, I would say the Bible doesn't directly support that.
Okay.
It's a good thought, though. Is this like for a science project? Or
Yeah.
something? Okay.
Thank you. That was it.
That's it?
Mhm.
Okay. Can I ask, have you gotten other responses? Or...
That was it. Just wondering people's thoughts on
Okay.
aliens.
What are other people saying?
They're saying like some of them believe in it and some of them don't.
Interesting. Okay. What are their arguments if they do believe in it?
They say that they think that the universe is really big and that there's other life out there. Cause, I mean, the universe is really unknowable.
That's a good point. What do you believe?
I believe that there would be some sort of bacteria or plants on other planets. I do believe in aliens and
Okay.
life.
Okay. Yeah, I respect that. Can I ask you this? Do you believe in evolution?
Yes.
Okay. Why, or what would be the support?
I just don't think. No offense, since you're biblical, but I just don't think that there's just this celestial being that created everything automatically.
Okay.
I really do believe the theory of bacteria evolving, becoming fish, and then fish evolving, amphibians evolving into reptiles and mammals and stuff like that.
Is there proof somehow of that?
Dinosaur fossils are a lot of proof for it, and woolly mammoth wool in the ancient glaciers.
So you're saying there's like proof that a fish turns into a dinosaur, or what proof would there be?
I mean, I don't know if there's any specific proof, but I mean, how would a dinosaur exactly get there?
Yeah. What about the? And I'm just talking out loud. What about like when they say the comets destroyed all the dinosaurs?
Either a comet or volcano, whichever theory is correct.
Okay.
I still believe in that.
Okay. Sure. What was I going to say? Have you heard of the second law of thermodynamics?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, it basically says that everything in nature trends to disorder. Like, in other words, stuff doesn't become more organized. So in other words, you know, using that as part of my reasoning, I would say that something can't become better without work being put into it.
Okay.
Yeah, like in other words, when you build a house, it's not just gonna build on its own. So, you know, like you or me, we have to go build it.
Yeah. Okay. That's
So-
a very strong argument.
Sure. Yeah, and again, I'm just, you know, providing you, you know, food to chew on. That's all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was it. So, as you can see, 3 out of the 5 people I asked said that they believed in aliens, that life out there exists. And I'm pretty sure one changed the vote, but that doesn't matter. In the beginning, 3 said that that they believe. And they put some pretty good reasons out there, too. They said that the universe is so big that who knows what's out there. That they knew about the zone. And it's so big. The universe, just huge. You don't know what's out there. And if you're wondering, well, Emerald, first, whoa, slow down. What's the zone you're talking about? Well, if you heard me say it, it's a zone not too far or too close to the sun. Just perfect, like here on Earth. And this zone is called, I'll say that after our story. So, first, we have a little story here that I will tell you. And I need to get to what here. So, all you need for this little experiment or story is 3 flowers and water. That's pretty much it. So, this story is called this story is called I don't remember the name. It's something like, oh yeah, let's call these the flower locks, okay? So the flower locks are aliens that need to find a new home. And they go to a nearby solar system and try to find the home. And they see 3 planets. Okay? The first planet they try and is very close to the sun. Which, for our sake, we'll put right there. But, sadly, I do not have fire here, so it's an inaccurate conception. But eventually, without water, this little flower here will die. But if it was real, it would just burn up instantly. Because imagine there's fire here. It was too hot. It would burn up all life would burn up instantly. Plus, there's no water, so it would just be dehydrated and die off. So that didn't work. The poor old flower locks just couldn't find that planet to be right. It was too hot. The next planet they tried was far from the sun. It was over here. Now imagine this is freezing cold water, because it probably is. So they land on the planet, and oh no, it's too cold. They're freezing and dying even again. And they couldn't live there because they'd freeze. And there's still no water because water would freeze too. So that's dead. And so the second planet was too cold. Then they went to a planet that was kind of close to the sun. Which is right here. This will represent our Earth planet, or a planet in the zone. So they go here, right there. Perfect amount of water, perfect amount of sun. Not too cold, not too hot. It's just right. So the flower locks come over its whole civilization comes over and settles right here. The perfect place for a flower to be. So obviously that story was based on Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Too cold, too hot, just right. And that is why that zone that I keep on talking about, it's called the Goldilocks zone. It's just the perfect amount of closeness and distance from the sun. So, like, the first flower was too hot and would die there. The second planet, which technically would be third because the planet would be in the middle of the two, but just ignore that, is dead because it's frozen. But the third flower, which isn't in the middle, it's just right. And the planet is perfect for life to live in. And that is the conditions of the Earth, of suitable life on Earth. So, alien life can only exist if there's water and it's not burning and not freezing. So, then how does life get on that planet? Or how does it exist? And to the aliens we may know today. Well, obviously, like our planet did, over billions and billions of years ago, it was just an ocean. And volcanoes made land rise up. But there still wasn't anything on that land. So, where was all the life? Well, that life was in the water. Now, as a creek, this water probably has a lot of bacteria in it, which is bad to drink, but in this case, they drink water, so there's really no point. Now, that bacteria would evolve. Now, that bacteria is already life, right? It's already a type of life in alien, so that's your first type of alien. Now, eventually, over millions of years, it would evolve into the fish, which we would see in the I don't remember on the top of my head, but in the aquatic era, let's say that, where it was just fish swimming around, and maybe some amphibians. Now, and eventually, as you know, the amphibian would rise up onto land and evolve even more into another creature, like a reptile or a mammal. And that would be how alien life would come. Think about it like this. This is another experiment you can do. So all you need is a seed and dirt. So imagine that this little seed you have, I don't have one on me right now because it takes a lot of time, so yeah. But imagine this little seed you have. Let's just pretend this is a seed. Let's pretend, okay? You put your pretending caps on. So this is our little seed. Now let's pretend this is bacteria from life. Okay, so this is our little bacteria, and pretend this is the ocean. So eventually, it evolves into a sapling, or grows into a sapling, and that bacteria would evolve into something else. And eventually, that sapling would grow into a flower, and that means that the bacteria, or now fish, grows into a bigger form of life. That would be how alien life would flourish on a planet. So, now that we know the conditions of alien life, and that aliens may not just be those little green men you see in movies, they could be plants, bacteria, or maybe they are or maybe they're animals, or maybe they are just little green men. We don't know. But I mean, even the definition of alien is a fictional being from another world. It can literally be anything. We don't know. So, alien, just will we know if there's aliens out there? Well, scientists have put up a space station, or not space station, but satellite that can try to send out messages to other worlds. And if something responds back, then there is a chance of aliens. They also have a bunch of telescopes, or not telescopes, I mean satellites, that can take pictures of nearby places, which could somehow catch a UFO on camera. But back to the sound. So they would send messages and try to see if something would send back. So here's an experiment for you. Have you ever been to Science City and tried those kind of not satellites, but those giant discs? Have you ever been to a place, doesn't have to be Science City, it's just the first place I think of, where they have those discs, which are like 10, 20, 30 feet away from each other, and when you talk into one, it'll bounce off to the other one, and you can hear it? Well, that's kind of what they're doing. So try to imagine you're there, and you have a disc, okay? So this is my disc, and my other disc is over here. So that is just a model distance of what I'm talking about. So I could say from here, "Hi, aliens, how are you doing?" And then they would try to respond back. And that's how people would know if there's aliens on other planets or not. So now I hope some of your questions have been answered. If not, leave some comments down below, and maybe I'll make another video on aliens on this series. So I hope all the questions have been answered, and now you know the perfect conditions for a Goldilocks zone. Like, if you put a goldfish in water and you boil the water, the fish will die. If you freeze the water, the fish will also die. If you leave it how it is, the fish won't die. Well, until it does. But that's not because of the water. So, now you know the perfect conditions for alien life, called the Goldilocks zone, where we are in right now. You know that aliens may just be tiny little bacteria swimming in an ocean and could evolve into other things. And how they would evolve. And know that they aren't just little green men. You also know how scientists would go and figure out how aliens exist. Now, since it is a big jump, if the aliens will have a smarter brain and try to respond because of their superior technology, we don't know if that's actually true. But I hope you like this episode, and see you on another topic on brain smarts.